Well, hello there. Welcome back to my channel, and today I want to talk to you about thermal nail polish. So thermal nail polish has a special pigment in it that changes color based on temperature. So your nails, as they warm and cool throughout the day, will change color. Sometimes it makes for like a really nice gradient look on your nails. Sometimes you'll have a sharp, almost French tip looking nail, and they're really fun to play with. I like thermals. In fact, this mini fridge back here, full of thermals. I just tend to forget about them once I put them into the fridge, to be completely honest. So when I do wear thermals, I think they're really enjoyable. The reason why I want to talk about this today is because Mooncat has just released their Remedy collection, which includes 5 new thermals, and they're cute, and I think a lot of people will be excited about them. But I want to warn you about some cons when it comes to thermals. First of all, it is a specialty formula, so of course it's going to be a little bit more expensive than your standard bottle of nail polish, but that in combination with Mooncat's already higher prices and recent political events, we're looking at $18 for a single bottle of nail polish. Mm. The other thing about thermals is no matter how good the formula is, eventually they die. And you can stick thermals into a fridge to make them last a lot longer than normal, but eventually it'll settle into one colorway or the other, probably well before you're able to use up a bottle of polish. On top of all of this, thermals are a newer formula for Mooncat. I think they've only released maybe one thermal in the past, so you're taking a big risk for $18 a bottle to, one, have it ship out in the middle of the summer heat, and also a formula that a company has not proven itself with. Not saying they're not going to be great, and looking at the pictures, they're really cute. I love the theming of this collection. It has koi fish on the front page. I'm wearing my koi fish barrette because that's so for me. And I'm a little bit tempted, but I'm going to hold off because I know there are plenty of indie creators who have really perfected the thermal formula, and you can get tri-thermals where it shows 3 different colors and they last a really long time. So I would look at indie creators before I look at Mooncat for a lot of these thermals. All that being said, I did my best to try and dupe out the thermals in this collection using sponge gradients to get that different color on the tip versus the cuticle that is so fun on a thermal. I did okay. I'm not Linry. If you want to see a true dupe it out attempt, go check out her channel. But here's what I did. So the first polish is Flying Nimbus, and I love the name and I love the colorway. This is so cute, I think. All of these swatches I took from the Mooncat website, so I'll leave the link below. Credit, obviously, to Mooncat. And this is my attempt on this side. I noticed that when I did a white to blue, it didn't really match that well, so I ended up doing a very light blue to blue. So this is Glisten and Glow's 'Tis the Season to Be Freezin' by the Cuticles, and on the tip is actually Mooncat's own Sinking Feeling. So the thing about doing a sponge gradient is it'll stay this way versus a thermal. Obviously, you'll get color change throughout the day across the whole nail, but for the general look, I think it works pretty well. Mine is definitely more teal leaning. I couldn't find the exact kind of soft blue that it looks like here, but the idea is there. So is it a dupe? No, but the vibes are good. Also, I tried to do the Michelle's hand pose, and I don't know how she does that. It looks really good though. The next polish is Jump Jump Bug. Oh, that's so cute. I love the names. So this is a swatch from Mooncat's website. Here's my dupe attempt, which looked so much better in person. In person, you could see the difference between the colors. I don't know what happened when I took my pictures, but they all got washed out, and now it just kind of looks like one polish, but it's 2 polishes, I promise. That is Picture Polish's Mint near my cuticles and Hollow Taco's Seafoam Home on the tips, which I think by themselves were a great color match. I just couldn't get my pictures to show it as well, but Speaking of Hollow Taco, last year they actually did release a thermal collection of their own called the Mixed Emotions Collection. And so this polish called Funny Feeling, I feel like is not a perfect match, but same idea. The next polish is, are you kidding me? Koi Whiskers? This was made for me. I don't know how I'm going to resist this long term, but I will. I'll stay strong because I think my dupe actually came out pretty good. Not perfect. None of these are perfect. This was really hard to dupe out, funny enough, but I think that you can get the same vibes based on just regular cream polishes you have in your collection. So for my dupe, that is Glisten and Glow's Orange Creamsicle near the cuticle and Holo Taco The Floor is Guava on the tips. One of my least used Holo Tacos that I should use more because that's really pretty. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is that I do think thermals are best worn on longer nails so that you do get that gradient effect, but obviously not necessary. Short nails can still enjoy the color change throughout the day. So far as a dupe in the thermal formula, I think Holo Taco's Rage Bait matches the vibe pretty well. Next up is Melonberry from Mooncat, and this is a really pretty thermal. Like, I just love both of those colorways, and it's giving like those lo-fi anime video vibes. I don't know. It's very chill and it's perfect for that collection. So this is my dupe attempt that is actually using both Mooncat polishes from their Technicolor Dreams collection, which I do recommend, even though it's kind of expensive. It's really great colors. This is Euphoric near my cuticle and Sweet Nightmare towards the tip. I mean, isn't that just so nice? A really nice color combo. Lastly, we have Mooncat's Sakura Serenade, which finally there's a little bit something else in there besides just like a cream-based thermal. It looks like a blue shimmer to me. So on my dupe attempt, this is Glisten and Glow's Cotton Candy near my cuticles to Orly's Shut Up, Heather. Sorry, that name makes me laugh every time. On the tips, and then topped with Holo Taco's Freezer Burn to give that nice little blue shimmer effect. This is another reason why I recommend indie nail polish brands over, say, the bigger brands like Holo Taco or Mooncat for thermals, because they tend to put more interesting things in them. So you can get like a jelly formula thermal, then do a peekaboo mani with it, and there's just a lot more options, I feel, on the indie market than on the mainstream market. For a thermal dupe, we have Holo Taco's Deeply Superficial, which has these beautiful flakies in it, and the color change is much more dramatic, which I like more than the Mooncat one. I think the Mooncat one is really pretty, and I especially love that delicate little shimmer they put in there, but the colors are just too similar. If you're gonna have a thermal, go all out. I want two very different colors. I want to tell that it's a thermal. So those were my dupe attempts for the thermals from Mooncat's newest Remedy collection. I'll be the first to admit they weren't great dupes. I was having trouble finding colors. Every time I try to do a dupe out of any sort, I realize that I don't know what colors are. It's actually really hard to match them, for me anyway. But I want to know what you think. Is a sponge gradient the same as a thermal and like you're good with that, or is a thermal polish really special and you think worth it for the price point? Let me know. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.